I hit the ground running in 2023. Or if you guys remember, I'm gonna mute this music. I don't know if you guys remember in 2023, I went to Buffalo, New York, in another town in New York. I can't remember the name of this town in New York, but I was there with two of my ultra hi-fi members, two of my closest members, and I went to basically one. I went to try to help with the setup of a magical S7, which I had here in orange color, and the other gentleman had desire to basically try my. We have another ultra hi-fi member right now. I flew into his hometown and I wanted to simply listen and help him out. Actually set up the former my beloved magical S7s that are now part of his system, along with some other components. So we have here Kev, who is essentially going to talk to us about his impression so far with the magical S7. I brought my cable line Authentic Audio Image. It's a line that I discovered back in 2022, and I did a lot of listening sessions with my magical S7s. I found a lot of the attributes from that particular cable line to be quite beneficial. What I mean by that is it's very coherent, top to bottom. Nothing really stands out. The music does not come shooting at you where you are almost seeking cover behind the couch after 30 minutes of listening to music. You all know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? There's none of that with these cables. And so, and the naturalness, the organic feeling of the presentation. So I inserted the cable. So I told him, you know what? Let me do what I need to do. Step out of the room. He stepped out of the room. He came back in. I dressed the system. He helped me with some of the cables. But then I told him, grab your music. Don't let me listen. Give it a listen. So I'll give you the mic. Explain what happened.
So I told Jay that I have Shunyata Sigma V2 cables, XLRs.
Great cables.
Yes, speaker cables and the power cords. Which, by the way, I sold the power cords because I found that the stock power cords sounded better than my V2 Sigma power cords. So I sold them.
What is it? What do you think it gained when you added those cables?
Yeah, for me it was that fuzziness, that slight lack of focus. Locked in.
Okay.
I'm more focused now. The cymbals, as an example of a high frequency noise, now became clearer, more distinct, and more sparkle, but not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. Okay.
And the spaciousness, like Jim was saying earlier, I had a huge soundstage already. I had a huge soundstage and really good layering in the back. But these cables now added even more depth. And what I mean is they projected even further forward, but kept the back.
Kept the back.
So now there's an enhanced layering here that even moves closer to you, which makes it even feel more real.
Got it.
And so you can almost reach out and touch the performers. They're like carved out in space. They're like almost here. They're here.
Right.
And here, and almost every single song, my bad CDs, my good CDs, every CD is listenable. All my CDs sound good in some way, even the bad recorded ones. And every song changes.
It does, right?
Every song. This is this. This is that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like a chameleon.
It does. It does. The cables do that. Yeah.
It's amazing. So I really,
hey, man.
I really wanted to give Jay a big hug because I just gotta. My journey, 2 years, trying to optimize these speakers again when I replaced my S3s and a long journey. Jay is my guardian audio angel. Jim Smith was my guardian angel when I first got my S3s. He hasn't been able to travel as much.
Right.
I met Jay and I was impressed by his seeking the knowledge.
Yeah, my madness.
Without him here, I wouldn't have been able to get this so quickly to the next level.
So if you have any interest on my cable line, I'm the sole US distributor for this line. The name of this brand, again, is Authentic Audio Image. All of my systems, for the most part, are using these cables. Now, occasionally you will see other brands, and that is simply because either my entire full loom is at a client's home and he's doing some testing of his own. And so I got to grab whatever I have on hand. So whatever I have for sale, I'll use it in the meantime while my cables are out there doing their work in people's homes. So after that, I went to Florida Audio Show. Florida Audio Show was where I happened to spend quality time with TAD loudspeakers. You hopefully saw this interview with the CEO of the company and, of course, the U.S. distributor. We had a great chat about the product lines. And of course, I got to finally hear Tad loudspeakers. But anyway, the bookshelf or the stand mount and their reference floor standing speaker, their flagship, which is like 180 grand. So anyway, I really enjoyed my time with that speaker brand. I thought personally that I was going to buy a pair of speakers and bring them into the lab, but unfortunately, when I got to the Florida Audio Show earlier this year, I had already paid for my Wilson Audio Chronosonics, so I was not in position to buy TAD speakers when I have already paid for my Chronosonics. So that's why that never came to fruition. In case you want to know, I know I've had a lot of questions as to when am I going to bring TAD loudspeakers, and unfortunately, the answer is um, not this year, clearly. So we will see what happens in 2024. Okay. So as soon as I got done with the Florida Audio Show, I went over to Capital Audio Fest, where you remember I gave the Steinheim VTL room the best of show. Again, this is my opinion, one man's opinion. I believe that was the most engaging room out of all the rooms present at this show. And mind you, this was not exactly a very easy room to set up because it was huge, it was massive, and you were so far like removed from the speakers. Yet I was very, very shocked at the fact that even though I was at least 15 feet away from them, the sound still reached out and touched me. I still felt as if there was this connection to the music that I normally never pick up when I'm sitting too far away from a system. I have said it many times that anytime you are sitting too far away from your system, you lose the feeling of being there. Okay. I strongly advise against sitting too far from your system because eventually you begin to allow the room to interact with you and the speakers. So 9 feet, 10 feet. In my case, I'm doing 11 feet and it's working okay. But let's face it, most of you don't have a speaker the size of the Chronosonic XVX. So this speaker can give you that flexibility as far as the distance from the speaker to you, to the listener. But very few other speakers give me that capability. So anyway, so I was at Expona listening to the VTL system with Steinheim, and I was again, I kept going back to that system, and it was just this beautiful feeling, delicacy, romanticism, this feeling that just swept you off your feet. Okay, I loved that system, and I still remember it as the best system at the show. Soon after that, I headed over to Germany, Munich, Germany, which, by the way, it was an amazing experience. I wish I could go there every year, but I'm in no position to return to Germany every year. So I will not be attending the 2024 Munich show. First of all, because it is a huge financial commitment for me. And secondly, because of the fact that it's I just don't think that anything will change from one year to the next. Okay, so skipping a year to me is always a smart practice. I wish I could do it with the U.S. shows, but to be honest with you, with the U.S. shows, it helps me gain traction and subscribers. So that's why I go to the U.S. shows every year, because at the end of the day, it's an easier show for me to attend to. Going to Munich is a huge production, financial commitment, and I mean, again, I can't make those commitments every year. But anyway, my time at Munich was great. I got to hear finally Martin loudspeakers, Zelaton speakers, which is a speaker that I have uh, talked about here briefly on occasion. It is a speaker that I'm interested in trying at some point, but I'm right now, unfortunately, not in position, okay, to bring any kind of speaker because I have my Wilson Audios in here, my Chronosonic, and my flagship speaker that you guys have heard briefly. But I think Zelaton will probably make an appearance at some point, hopefully in 2024. I know Rockport is another speaker that people want to see here. I know Von Stryker is another speaker that people want to see here. And by the way, I have opportunities to essentially get what I want. I am blessed, And proud to say that after 5 years of YouTubing, yes, 5 years of YouTubing, I have built great relationships with brands. Okay. Brands are now finally starting to acknowledge me. You saw Griffin recently here in my lab. So that just speaks volumes about the fact that more and more brands are starting to notice me, are starting to take me more seriously. They're starting to see that I have departed completely from what I used to be early in this game. Okay. I didn't start this way. But I think if you're going to get better at something, you have to start at the bottom. I feel like you have to start at the bottom to understand how to correct your mistakes, how to change your vision if indeed your goal is to grow. Okay. A lot of you who work with me, who are either doing business with me of some sort to some capacity, those of you who know me know that I'm a straight shooter. I'm never going to leave you hanging. If you work with me, you know that I'm always going to be there to answer your text messages. I'm always going to be there to talk to you, to make sure you're okay. If you need something, I'm there. Okay. So I am that type of person. I don't wait 2 weeks to respond to your emails. I don't wait 30 days to give you a refund. Okay. If you buy something from me, that's not how I operate. Okay. The same, I want to treat you guys the same way I want you guys to treat me. So anyway, long story short, 2023 has been a very productive year. I would say, and I'm willing to even share something a little more personal with you guys that are here with me today. 2023 for me, my business actually launched in 2022. So that's officially when I created Jay's Audio Lab LLC, right? 2022, 2023. It's finally behind me, and I'm willing to share something with you. 2023 has been for me 3 times as successful as 2022 was. My business is telling me that. Okay. And to me, that is a great, great confirmation of the level of work that I've been putting in. So I've measured my results in 2023 against 2022, and I'm so pumped and so happy that I feel that 2024 can bring me far more opportunities than I ever anticipated, and that's because I guess again the body of work, how hard I'm working to hustle to connect with brands, to bring brands in here, to bring you guys more quality content along the way. I'll repeat it again. You won't see another YouTuber that has this level of gear. Unfortunately, if you're waiting for someone in 2024, I can already give you the news. You probably won't see another YouTuber that has this level of electronics. You just won't. If you're asking yourself or saying to yourself, there's got to be somebody else that could do what Jay is doing. There's got to be someone else that can do what Jay is doing. I'm going to tell you, probably not, because there's too much money involved at this level. I'm spending essentially what car YouTubers spend on vehicles to present to their subscribers. But in the audio community, people don't go to this level. I am so far removed from every other YouTube channel, and I'm happy to say that I like staying removed. I like doing something that nobody else probably will ever imagine like covering. Okay, unless they're a magazine or they're connected with the industry. But to say that they're going to embark on buying everything that I buy, you're probably not going to find another YouTuber, folks. If you're looking to keep your eyes on the ultra high end, this is the only channel where you'll get that. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to make a statement. If you can find another YouTube channel that showcases what I showcase, okay, the level of gear that I showcase, ownership, not associated with the brand, ownership, okay, independently financed. If you find a channel on YouTube, send me the link. If it happens to be exactly what I just described, I will literally send you $1,000 free. There. That's how confident I am about what I'm doing.